Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have more Starfinder RPG goodness. This time we have Flip Mat, Forest Moon, wet, dry, and permanent markers erase from the mat. And of course this is brought to you by our great friends over at Pazio. It's a 24 by 30 inch mat, folds to 8 by 10, 1 inch squares on each side. Remember, in Starfinder and Pathfinder, 1 inch equals 5 feet in terms of movement. A moon made of green trees, where the heroes explore the world-spanning woodlands of a living planet or race entrocycles between giant trees in a dangerous high-speed chase. No game master wants to spend time drawing every tree trunk and forest trail. Fortunately, with Starfinder Flip Mat Forest Moon, you don't have to. This line of gaming maps provides ready-to-use science fantasy set pieces for the busy game master. The double-sided map features winding paths through a dense extraterrestrial wood on one side and the massive trunks of a sprawling primeval forest on the other. Don't waste time sketching when you could be playing with Starfinder Flip Mat Forest Moon. You'll be ready the next time your players go for a walk in the woods. So here you go, that's the top, that's the front map. Looks like that. And there is your back mat. And of course, for when using the mat, directions for use. A special coating on each flip mat allows for easy use of wet erase, dry erase, and even permanent markers. Removing permanent ink is easy. Simply trace over any permanent mark with a dry erase marker. Wait 10 seconds, then wipe off both marks with a dry cloth or a paper towel. Of course, this mat, again, is brought to you by the great people at Pazio. It was released in 2021. For more information, you can go to pazio.com/Starfinder. There you'll find all the information you'll ever need to know about the Starfinder, the RPG, role-playing game, or about this map in particular. And the retail value of this map was $14.99. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. I'm going to remove the dust jacket. Some people throw those out. I always keep them. And again, they're a little squeaky when you first take it out. I always bend them up a little bit this way. They're a little easier to fold and open them. So let's take a look at the bottom first. That's what we normally do. So here we have it. Again, this part of the map is considered the dense extraterrestrial wood. So it's the extraterrestrial woodland area. Now, this map is, first off, beautifully drawn. So very, very vibrant of colors. Just a really, really gorgeous map. And I'm not sure, again, when you're creating your own game, I'm not sure if this is lava here, what this is, or if it's sand, lava, you know, it's left up to your imagination. You know, whether these are plants that come alive or whatever, you know, it's totally up to your imagination. Now we're going to take a look at that again from the middle of the map. Now the great thing about all these flip maps, it doesn't matter, as you know, if you've been on the page looking around, you'll see I've done a lot of different unboxings for flip mats or flip tiles. And even though this is created for Starfinder, again, take it to the very top again, you can use this map for any type of RPG. You can use it for Starfinder, you could use it for Pathfinder, you can use it for Dungeons and Dragons, you could use it for Star Trek, the role-playing game, Aliens, the role-playing game, Blade Runner, any of the role-playing games that you want to use it for. Also, if the squares are meant for 28mm figures, so if you wanted to create your own science fantasy or science fiction, you know, 28mm war game, you could use this map for that as well. So even though it is created bipods, for the Starfinder game system. You can definitely use this map for any type of game that you wanted to use it for. So I'm going to start at the bottom again and kind of show you the entire scope of the map as laid on the table from different angles. Man, this thing is just straight up gorgeous. Absolutely just fantastic. It really captures the, I hate to say it, landing on an alien planet and the wildlife you would find there. If you remember the old 70s TV show Space 1999, they are always going to different planets and looking around to try to find something, get off the moon, base Alpha, where they could find a place where they can call a new home. And, you can have that kind of adventure where they're landing here to test to see whether or not, they can breathe the air that's down here, whether it's friendly or it's a dangerous place to live. And that would be up to you how you play that in the game if you created something of that nature. Star Trek, same thing. Going to a different planet, checking it out. You're gonna get distress call, things of that nature. It all happens. Again, this is from the side view. As you can tell, it really, really pops at this point. Really, really does. All right, turn around one more time just so you can see the bottom again. That's where we started. Now I'm just going to kind of center this so you can get a general gist of how it looks in the middle. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to throw a couple terrain pieces up here just so you can get a general gist. So let's hypothetically say we had a plane that went down and you have to go and investigate it. So it's just to see how it just adds to the dimension of it. Guy scouts it, he's checking it out. Again, using a Starfinder pawn, we could throw him in there too as well. There's an alien walking around the woods. Over here, I'm going to check out the crash site as well. We could have a couple things laying around here that maybe fell out of the plane. You can even throw another terrain piece out there. You can even throw some sort of portal if you want to use a portal. Have the alien coming out of the portal. So again, you could just tell how this map number one just pops, and how it gives you really that jungle feel, and that's really, or forest feel, and it looks, fantastic, even with the figures. Again, even if you use regular little pawns from a board game, just throw them on there too. They pop out as well. A couple other figures, throw them on there just so you can see. Here clicks, the base is a little large for it, but you could throw him on here as well. You could use him. So you could use all kinds of different figures. Roll dice on the table too. There you go. You could see it a mile away. So there you go. Just throw this piece of terrain out there too. We have someone sitting on the bench out there, So again, these are all the things that you could put on the map. Everything pops, as you can tell, on the map. Okay, so again, nothing that I showed you, any of the terrain or the figures themselves or the pawns, none of these are included with the map. They're used for example purposes. The die is not included either. These are just examples that I put on so you can see what it looks like with figures and terrain on the board. Okay, that's one side of the map. Let's flip it to the other side. And this is what do they call it? They call it the Forrest. They called it the dense extraterrestrial wood. That's what this is. No, this is the sprawling primeval forest. It's the forest. Yeah, this is the forest. The other one's the extraterrestrial wood. So that's the bottom part of the map. Under, so you can see now, you can see the middle section. The fallen tree. Lots of bushes, stumps, all kinds of stuff that you would see. Again, very lush, very colorful. It's got a lot of room on it. Look at the top here as well. Get the general gist of what the map looks like. There you have it. So again, I'll show you the whole map again as it's laid on the table. Give you a general gist from different angles what it looks like. Again, this flip mat, just like the flip tiles, the way that you set up on your table is your own. There's no right or wrong way as to how this should be laid out. You get to lay it out the way you want to. Man, it's a beautiful, beautiful map. This is, I'm going to tell you, this is one of my favorite ones that Pazio's released for Starfinder. I mean, I have a lot of other maps, and they're all gorgeous, but this one here, really, really, really. And I debated about this one. I wasn't sure if I needed it or wanted to have it, but I said, you know what? I have all the other ones. Why not pick this one up too? And now I'm super stoked to use this in one of the games. And the great thing about this is that you go to a friend's house, you know, throw together a real quick game. You take your mat, you throw it down, you bring a couple pawns, you're ready to roll right off the bat. You can use the 3D terrain. You don't have to use the 3D terrain. It's totally, you know, your choice how this is utilized and how you utilize the maps and the type of game that you use it for, as we discussed earlier. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down as I did before, kind of center it on the table here a little bit, best I can. Kind of showed the middle area there. Okay. And again, I'll just throw some things on here real quick. I got to throw a portal out there. Got a creature coming out of the portal. Put him over there. So he's coming out of there. Got this thing I'll throw over here. If you want to do the crash landing site again, I can do that. I can put that over here somewhere. Again, a pawn from Starfinder. A pawn from a board game. Dungeons and Dragons miniature. Another guy. Throw some dice out there. Oh, the dice went flying too far. You see how the dice pops right off the map too. If you want to use rear clicks, again, he takes up 4 squares, not 1. Okay. Put him over there. And of course, a couple things. I'll throw those out there. A couple of terrain pieces, additional terrain pieces. So again, everything pops on the board beautifully. No problem rolling the dice. You keep you know, you see it clear as day. Okay. So again, the terrain pieces are not included when the purchase of the map. They are sold separately, and they're there for example purposes only. And again, even with just a figure walking around, investigating in the area, his base is a little big too, but again, you can see him beautifully, and it really makes everything pop. So there you are. And that concludes this unboxing of Starfinder Flip Mat Forest Moon. As always, thank you so much for joining us for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed it, you could always give us a thumbs up. And of course, you can always leave a comment below. You can also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any other time we release any new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the remainder of your day, and we'll catch you on the next unboxing video.